Alright, let's zoom us out this time because we have a few things to look at. First of all, we have my base on the back of the card. Then we have this piece of cardstock. And I have chosen 4 owls. The reason I've chosen 4 owls is because I want to make 2, believe it or not, 2. What do you call those things? Tulips. Now, you can find ideas like this and more all over the Stampin' Up! Website. They have got tutorials everywhere showing you how you can do different things with your Stampin' Up! Gear. All sorts of different things can be done with all of their punches. And remember that I'm doing these on ATC cards because I like ATC cards. Not because I dislike any other kind of card, but just because I like ATC cards. So there's no reason why you couldn't make this into a regular card, right? All right, first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take, this ink is called, this one is a pistachio, and my water pen. I'm just gonna get right here in the corner. You can do that. And I'm just gonna fill in some little grass. Kind of get a little bit of this pistachio color on here. Kind of like background. Yeah. Pick up some more of that color. Now this is not watercolor paper, so it doesn't really like me using the water on it. It's just kind of like that. Now I've lost the lid to that. Now the next thing I'm going to do is go ahead and close up my pistachio. And with my Stampin' Right marker, I am going to take, come on, the brush end of this one, which is Gumball Green, and just, you know, make some little grass, maybe stems, lines in it. Now I'm going to come in closer now for what I'm about to do when it comes down to our turning these into tulips. Some of you have probably already figured it out or already know how to do this. Either way, totally cool. I'm going to take a pair of scissors, and I'm going to come in and show you how to do this, okay? I've decided that my 2 main tulip colors are going to be this one, and why not a brown one? So I'm sorry, Mr. Owl, but I'm going to cut off your feet. So I'm just going to snip off his little feet. Some of you are cringing right now. So I snipped off his feet. I also want this one to be a tulip. So I'm going to snip his feet off. Terribly sad. Sorry about that. You could actually keep those teeny weeny pieces if you wanted to. They'd make cute little, actually they'd make little cute flowers too. Now, with the other 2, I might as well snip their feet off too. We're going to snip everybody's feet off because that's just the way I am. Horrible, horrible me. And this on its own kind of looks like a tulip, doesn't it? But I want it to look more like a tulip. So I'm going to take this owl right here and I'm going to follow. You see how we would just follow the curve right here of his little self. Make it that side, and then this side, it's going to make it the same. Follow that little curve. Now, when I put these back together, I have a variegated tulip. How pretty is that? Now I can do it a little shallower if I want to, and just follow just inside and come right back up. Try and make it as even as possible, even though nothing in nature is perfect, so don't worry about perfection. And this little tulip has two colors that way. Not cute? So I like this stamp. I like this punch a whole lot. You can make all kinds of little things. So now I've got two little tulips right here. So I'm going to glue them down. And you can use any colors you want. Let's put some glue on the back of you, and I think I'm going to have you stick off the side a little bit too, because it looks a little crowded to me. You can stick off the side just a wee bit there. Maybe I like this color on here better, and this color on here better. Maybe I do, maybe I don't. Either way, it doesn't matter. You can do them whichever way you like. Also, because this is double-sided paper on this one, I could turn it over. But I'm going to just glue them down for the sake of not taking forever, because I'm sure that this video is already running way long. Way longer than you wanted to sit and watch me do things. And you'll have to forgive my cuts a little bit today because I'm having a very seriously difficult day. My hands have been giving me non-stop trouble since I got up this morning. But that's all right. We just keep using them. Put some glue on there. Take you up there. And get me a little variegated tulip going here. There's much nicer ways to cut this, ladies and gentlemen. And I'm sure if you take your time and do it, you will be able to master this in no time and be like, what was she doing? What she showed us was just what? That's okay. I'm actually thinking that if I wanted to, never mind. See, what happens is I start doing these projects, especially working on ATCs, and I think of other things and I'm like, oh, but that would look so, but what if I did? And you know, then that's when we turn into a 5-hour-long video that takes me forever. And I mean forever to edit. Okay, so now we've got this cute little ATC going on here. And I really am thinking about these feet because these feet are so cute. We could just put them places, couldn't we? Maybe not there. All right. Maybe not there. But we could sure put them at the end of other stems, like other little flowers, so that we don't waste them. Because I really don't like wasting any of my product. Something about that really just drives me nuts. And I know that a lot of you feel the same way, especially with how expensive things are nowadays. Stampin' Up! Has some really good pricing, but that doesn't mean that when I'm using their paper, I'm just going to throw it away. So now let's put him on his black backing. Make sure I get this part done and this part done. Edging. All right. Get you on there. all cute. Get it as centered as you can. Squash it. And there is our second one. Cute as a button. I've got one more to show you. Let me get geared up and we'll get started on it. Okay, we are back with our third and final one, possibly my favorite one. I don't know, could be, maybe, I don't know. But I'm going to be using this Jade Coastal Cabana. But what I need is my sponge. And I, for the life of me, cannot find my Stampin' sponges anywhere. This is what happens when you have a house with girls in it. Your stuff disappears because they're like makeup sponges. So of course, when it's like a makeup sponge, they're going to want to use it, and they're not going to bring it back. So you know what I'm going to do? Oh, there's googly eyes. I found googly eyes back here. How fun is that? Brads. But no sponges. Oh, that's going to make me crazy. Okay, so what I'm going to do then is that I am going to find and see if I've got a blue. I don't want a lot of color on this right here. I just want to touch it with a little, and that's pretty dark, isn't it? Let's see if I can kind of get that to come on, get some water in there. Sorry, you can't see what I'm doing. Get some water on that and try and move it around the paper a little bit. Not too worried about that squiggly because I can cover him up. But I kind of want some blue in here. But I also want some green. So let's put them down here. And the paper's kind of pilling up on me a little bit because, again, not watercolor paper. This would have been best done on a watercolor paper, but that is fine. So I kind of want a blue-green kind of tint to this paper. And as you see, these markers do respond really well to water. Now, beyond using your water pen, we also have Stampin' Up! Blender pens. Show you those right here. Stampin' Up! Blender pens are item number 102845, and these are phenomenal. I guess I should have told you the number on my... I'll have to look up the number on this. But if you just go to my Stampin' Up! Store and punch in Owl Punch, it'll come up. We have blender pens, and these blender pens are fabulous. Double-ended. I don't know how well they're going to work right now because it's wet, but they do actually work quite nicely in blending color. See? I could have gone that way. I can also do this, but it doesn't matter. The only thing that's going to matter now is that my paper is wet. And we're not going to be able to glue anything down until that dries. So I'm going to give this a quick dry, and I'll be right back. Okay, that is just about dry. Why I'm still holding this, who knows? I'm going to take my little guy right here, and he needs eyes, but he needs little tiny eyes. Just little ones. So let's give him so I got all these pieces from the other one. Let's give him these peachy colored little eyes because they'll show up nicely, I think. I'm going to set them up and see what I think. Yeah, right up here and kind of close together. Yep, that's what we're going to do. The only problem with working with the tiniest one, seriously, is it is so tiny. Go on. Some glue on there. Now it's stuck to my finger, as usual. Hope you guys are having fun. I'm having a great time. You saw how nasty it was outside. And like I said, I'm doing these on a tiny scale because I'm doing them as ATC cards, but think about it. You could do anything with these and make them onto a regular size greeting card. Now, I want that blue one back because I want to put a little dot. Spreads a little bit much for me. And then I want him to have, well, we're going to make it a her. I'm going to make a bow. Right. Have you figured it out yet? I'm sure you have. One. Come on. Two. Get these to stay down. Don't want them coming off. There you go. And then I'm going to take a peachy one. And make a little smile. And you didn't see any of that because I had you way off frame. It's okay, you'll see what I did. If I can get it off of this paper that's got too much glue on it now. Here it comes. Here it comes. Here it comes. Let's pick it up. Look, it's a baby squintopus. Octopus thing. All right, so I really am gonna get being centered on camera down. I promise. Seriously, it's gonna happen. Now I'm gonna glue this over that squiggly mess that I made. I'll make sure you can see what I'm doing. Putting glue all over the back of my little blue jellyfish. That's what it is. I love jellyfish. I just think they're beautiful. And I'm going to glue it over the squiggy mess I made. And I could put another jellyfish in there, but what I'm going to do instead is that I am going to put bubbles from where we punched out all the different size circles that came with this one. And we're just going to put some bubbles around. And here's an even teeny weeny bubble. You can go up here. And this bubble can stick off the top right there. This bubble can kind of go right there. And then we're going to go ahead and put the whole thing. And see, I like the back background because it really does make it pop. I'm going to flip you over. Make sure there's glue on all the corners. Let that set for just a minute. Just a couple seconds. while I get the top back on. Lift it up. I lost part of the bow, but that's okay. I figured I had too much glue there. Get this centered. My little happy octopus, and I'm gonna fix the octopus's bow now. Now I like bubbles to have a little bit of a, you know, a reflection, a shine on them. So we can do that either using the pens, the Stampin' Up! Pens, but I'm going to actually use a white gel pen and just put it, if it'll get working here, we're going. Just put, even in the teeny one, a little reflection on these bubbles. And there you have a jellyfish ATC. So, what have we got from one punch? Now, there are several other things I could show you, but we're going to run long. From one punch, we've been able to make our jellyfish. We've been able to make our tulips. And we've been able to make our crazy, all over the place owls. Now, you don't have to set them up the way I did. I just sort of like the owls looking at each other like that. It just, I don't know, I get tickled with that. So, one punch, triple duty. There's actually more that we could do with it, and I'm sure as I've been cutting and putting pieces on, you've been thinking, oh, but this could be but I could do that with and that's the whole fun of it. You buy a really good punch, and this one is awesome. And all Stampin' Up! Punches come with a lock on them. So they open and close. Now I will tell you, I told you the other day that most of their punches were one-hand punches. This great big one with all the pieces, I do use two hands. I just sit it on the table and press down. That is it for today from Stampin' on Wheels, and I am so glad you decided to join me. I really appreciate you. Tell me what you think. Tell me what you would make with that punch, and if you're interested in the punch, by all means, please follow the link below the video, and it'll take you right to where you need to be. You can sign up as a customer, actually just basically make yourself an account, and click the little button that says send me your newsletter, so you'll always know what's up, what's coming up, what sales are coming up, and when. And check out the site. There are so many fun things going on there, and like I said, right now we are retiring a whole lot of things that you may want to have, but we're also bringing in a whole bunch more, and I cannot wait to see what all's coming and to let you know all about it. Thanks for watching. Enjoy stamping. It's obviously time for me to go because my son came in the door and set off the dogs. Have a good one, folks. Bye-bye.